Good evening. Hello, everyone. Bobby, are you with us?
I am here, sir. What is
Oh,
going
there
on?
he is. Okay, I was ready for you to bring us in, and
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to do it.
well, here we are.
Welcome to the show. Line to Gain on a Thursday night. The Banker boys are in the house. Um, quick backstory on that. We grew up on the same street. That street, Banker Drive. So, AKA the Banker boys are in the building tonight.
Jaden with the like. Jaden, what's up, buddy?
Jaden, good evening. Welcome to the show. We've got a good one for you tonight. We're going to be talking NFL free agency. We all know it. Well, it goes live on March 16th. So that is in 13 days. That is when the market is officially open. There are over 100 free agents out there currently right now. So it's going to be hot. There's already been, deals that are getting worked behind the scenes prior. So there's some that we don't know about. I think there's a few that are kind of out there that are rumor, but we're gonna get into that tonight. So if you guys have any notable free agents you want us to discuss that we do not touch on, please let us know. Corey, how was your day, sir?
Oh man, you went there. My day was pretty good. So we got a puppy. We've had a puppy for a little while now, and yesterday when I got home, said puppy decided that he couldn't hold it any longer. And then he decided that he was going to paint his cage with it. And so I got to deal with that yesterday when I got home. Well, today, my wife took the dog to work. She can do that at her office. She took the dog to work.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he had a vet appointment. So he was with her all day, and he was out of the cage for them. So the whole day was great. And she took him to the vet, dropped him off at the house. She had to go, she did her nail appointment thing. He was in the cage for like an hour and 15 minutes, I think it was today. So I was like, we're good. I don't have to do that again today.
We're golden.
It's sick. It's going to be dope. Like, I'm just going to get home. I'm going to get him out of the cage, take him for a walk. It's going to be cool. False. Same shit, literally, again today. Same shit today. I walk in, my daughters and I walk into the house, and it's just like a wall.
You smell it instantly.
A wall of like, oh, God. And they're like, Daddy, it's stinky. I was like, yeah, it is. Just like grab him by the scruff immediately into the tub, like shower head, just like get clean, you vile thing. And he's about this close from being homeless, so just putting that out there. He's really close to being homeless. So today I went balls deep with it. I bleached the whole cage, and there's zero trace. We're gonna come out better and stronger because of it.
Absolutely.
I
think Todd may or may not have warned you of this exact scenario, or at least mentioned it about his puppy and his experience.
He did. He said, get the Clorox wipes. I've upgraded from Clorox wipes to just straight bleach spray. So Jaden with a comment coming in here says he's going to listen to the show to help keep my sanity while writing my essay. What's your essay about, Jaden? I'm just curious.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, well, I'm curious what subject this is about. And
how many pages? Like, what's the criteria?
Yeah,
like,
we got to know it all.
Details.
We can guide you. We're smart. We are college educated individuals.
Man, I used to pump out fucking 5 to 10 page papers the night before.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That is horrible for your health.
Oh no, dude. That was one thing that I actually could do was write. I had no problem doing it.
Have you seen that TikTok where the guy's like doing the drumline thing? Yeah, that's what I'm imagining right now. But Jaden,
The Great Gatsby, and it has to be 2 pages long. Oh, dude.
Dude, you're fine.
Dude, come on. You made it sound like it was going to be an all-night affair. That should take you maybe 45 minutes.
Come on.
Let me preface this. Did you read it?
Yeah, did you read the book? Is it single-spaced? Come on.
If it is a single-spaced 2-page paper, that is 1 page.
And here's
1 page with no spacing.
Quick little tip: extending essays, no conjunctions. We're not using can't. We're using
Not.
cannot. We're not using haven't. We're using have not. Come on. It's just simple things like that that can just space it out. Instead of but, what's another? Although. Like there's also, you can say as well as. Like there's things that you can do.
Along with.
Along with. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. They're just
You can look up the synonyms to smaller words like a lot. And
yeah.
there's like words that are like 10 to 12 letters long that can replace that 4-letter word.
Plethora. I mean,
Cornucopia.
a cornucopia of
Copious.
yeah, copious amounts of. Come on, we got you, buddy. We're gonna get.
I
through
read
this
some of the
together.
books. I read some of the book and I had to write an essay that was 4 pages last week. Okay.
You're gonna be
Well, I
fine.
mean, if it's chapter based, it's only 2 pages. You got this.
Yeah.
That's a walk in the park.
Nut
homie.
up. Nut
Walk
up.
in the park.
Yeah, get it together. Get it together.
All right. Well, let's dive in a little bit. Corey, who do you want to start with?
I think we could go ahead and just go with the Titans first.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I want to start with the Titans because they have probably it's one of these things where it's like I feel like they should re-sign this guy but at the same time I don't think they're going to. And I'm talking about Harold Landry, what the Titans outside linebacker. He's mainly like a pass rusher in the same sense that TJ Watt is an outside linebacker. Harold Landry is also a linebacker. Just completed his 4th year on his rookie deal with the Titans and had an absolutely stellar season. I mean, 12 sacks, just absolutely jumped off the page for me in terms of production. A huge leap over these last couple of seasons for Harold Landry. And they don't have the 5th-year option on him. And it just seems like a guy that's going to walk away. And this is going to be a theme for me that you're going to hear as we go through this free agency, particularly tonight as we focus on in-house free agents, right? Guys that are already currently on the roster up until March, was it 16th or 14th?
16th.
Until March 16th when free agency starts. They're currently on the roster. You have the ability to negotiate with them and their agent and get a deal done for an extension. But I am a massive proponent of keeping in-house talent. Guys that you draft and that you develop, keeping them on the team. It's the cheapest route, right? There's no bigger way to spend money in free agency than going and getting other guys. So I don't know what the Titans' strategy would be in terms of filling that void unless they have their eyes on another elite pass rusher out there. Because 12 sacks, that's nothing to shrug off at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think if you can keep that in-house and you can do it at a little bit more of a reasonable price, that's the way you go. Now, that being said, the Bengals did the exact opposite last season in Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson, a guy that a lot of fans, myself included, really, really wanted the Bengals to resign, and they didn't. And Carl Lawson left, and he went and signed a massive deal with the Jets, obviously tearing his Achilles in training camp later, which no one could have predicted, and signed Trey Hendrickson to what a lot of people at the time said was an overspend, right? They said that the Bengals shouldn't have spent that much on Trey Hendrickson, and everyone was wrong. I mean, he was amazing. He was amazing. He was exactly what we needed as a team and getting that pass rush. So as a Titans fan, if I was a Titans fan, I would be really hoping they keep that because I don't know. In your opinion, what do you think? I don't really see people making that gold strike. You know what I mean? Like the Bengals did with Trey Henderson. Like that just doesn't happen all the time.
It's very few and far between. Getting somebody like that off of free agency, that comes in immediately and makes an impact the way that he did the entire season. I can't really think of anybody, maybe outside of, he wasn't even a free agency, but like I was just thinking, like my head went to Minkah Fitzpatrick and what he did for the Steelers defense coming from Miami. just absolutely crushed it. So
I mean, I guess OBJ technically was a free agent when he signed with the Rams. Had
yeah,
an immediate impact on the Rams, but it wasn't like the Rams said we're not going to re-sign Robert Woods and we're going to sign OBJ. Robert Woods was hurt out for the year, and then
yeah.
they needed a void to fill, and they went out and got OBJ when he hit the market. So I don't know. It's just different. You know what I mean?
So if the Titans don't pursue him, who would you see as a fit for that role on the
Ooh,
Titans?
that's a great
That's a free agent.
question. That's a great question. Do you know who any pass rushing free agents are
Uh,
currently?
Von Miller is available.
That's a great point.
That's
Jadavion
the
Clowney is all. Wait, no, I'm sorry, that's not true.
um,
Let's see here. I got
Chandler
Von Miller is available. Chandler Jones is available. Jadavion Clowney is available. I'm sorry. Randy Gregory,
and Dominican Sue.
Emmanuel Agba,
It's not really a pass rusher, but
Melvin Ingram, Harrison Reddick, Harold Landry, obviously. Now, Harold Landry's ranked eighth. He's ranked eighth in this Pro Football Focus ranking of free agent edge rushers. Justin Houston is also available. Let's see here.
there's a lot of defense on the board.
There
I mean,
is
there's a lot of everything on the board, to be honest.
I mean, maybe that's what the Titans are looking at when they're seeing this is like we can replace this. Like we can go out and get equal, maybe a little worse, but equal. And yeah, I mean, so if I'm looking at the Titans, what would they go? Maybe like a Melvin Ingram. I don't see the Titans going out and splashing on a Von Miller. I don't see that. Von Miller is going to be you're going to overpay in my opinion for a Von Miller. I mean, he was just in the Super Bowl. There's a price tag that comes along with that.
Sure.
He's won 2 Super Bowls now. He was a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, he's at the tail end of his career, but it's still Von Miller, and he still can affect the game. So there is value in that. But at the same time, I think at this point you're paying for the name Von Miller, and there's some consistency that comes along with that name, though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely. I
I
mean,
just
he had a positive impact on an already great defense there. Yeah, the Rams did a really nice job late in the season getting him and Eric Weddle to come in, and yeah, I don't know. Do the Rams bring Von Miller back? I mean, is he over? Is he
right.
over the hump? You know, that's what I don't know. I mean, we all know that this is not. There's not going to be very many more years of Von Miller in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the things that Aaron Donald had talked about when, before the Super Bowl, there were rumors, okay, Rams win, Aaron Donald's done. Like he had said that he was going to hang it up, or that was a rumor at least, right? And he had said, if everybody comes back, I'm back, is what he has said. Um, so maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's like, I want Vaughn back too, because I mean, having Von Miller and Aaron Donald on the same side of the ball, and not only that, on the same side of the ball, if you go to left side or right side, having them together, that's a nightmare. That's an absolute nightmare. I mean, all you have to do is line them up and then blitz on the other side, and you're probably getting a free runner somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that would be a nightmare for anyone to try and block that kind of defensive scheme. So maybe they do try and bring him back, and maybe
I could.
at this point right now, it's all just rumors because, like you said, yeah, there's some deals going on behind closed doors, but what isn't happening is players are not talking to the organization. They're not allowed. What's happening is agents are talking to organizations. Agents are talking to other agents. There's this thing going, just the swirl, if you will, of the
It's the telephone game.
it really is. It really is. And I think there's some people that probably have their ear pretty close to the ground on this kind of stuff. I am not one of them, and neither are you, or you plural, anyone watching this right now, unless, you know, somebody crazy picked up the show tonight. But
Right.
yeah, I just it's all kind of speculation at this point. But some of the things that I had heard um, is that Harold Landry would probably not get re-signed by the Titans. It might be too much of a price tag for them.
So where does he land if he doesn't get re-signed?
I mean, who doesn't need a pass rusher, right? I mean, I guess the Bengals are okay there. At the same time, I think the Bengals could use another pass rusher. Yeah, we have Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson and Joseph Asai, who was a third round pick. He got hurt in preseason, was splashing a lot in preseason. Everybody's really excited for him. Major bummer when he got hurt. But at the same time, you can't bank on that. You can't bank on Joseph Asai being at that at all times because you don't know. You can't bank on 2 preseason games. If you're doing that, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment because
Right.
that's not a large enough sample size. So outside of Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, I think the Bengals do need another pass rusher. Is it Harold Landry? Probably not. I don't think you go and sign 12 sacks and sit him on the bench or just bring him out in nickel sets. I don't think you do that. So I'm just trying to run through it in my head. I mean, if Chandler Jones is gone, I could see the Cardinals going out and teaming him up with JJ Watt. That would be a great lineup there. Um, Seattle pretty consistently needs pass rushers. Bruce, welcome to the stream, my man.
What up, baby? I'll tell you what, I'd love to see him on the opposite side of the ball as TJ Watt.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, so you got you guys who'd you have? Ingram on the other side there. Yeah, so Ingram's a free agent as well, and he could be leaving the Steel City. They might re-sign him, but
Yeah.
I think I would say that Landry would be an upgrade from Melvin Ingram, in my personal opinion, in terms
I
of
think
pass
I think Ingram
rushers.
did a lot of nice things, but yeah, he would definitely be an upgrade for sure. Um, so I know you kind of got into the Bengals a little bit. I think their biggest need right now in free agency is O-line. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. There's quite a few offensive linemen out there. There are a couple that are seasoned veterans, 30 plus years of age. So kind of in the middle, going towards the back half of their career. Who would you like to? Who's the number one free agent offensive lineman that the Bengals have to land?
So we got a couple likes rolling in the stream right now. Appreciate it, Bruce. Oh, Bruce sharing the video as well. Bruce, thank you so much, my man. You're a godsend. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot of guys that I would really be happy with the Bengals. The Bengals going out and spending money on at this point. I think the best thing that kind of encapsulates how I feel about it. Um, excuse me. The best encapsulation of how I feel about it is exactly what Frank Pollock said at the combine. We want guys that are ready to eat shards of glass, is what he said. That's what we need. We need
Well,
maulers.
some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, they need bad motherfuckers on the interior of that offensive line. And that's exactly what you need. So who's the first guy that comes to mind when I think about that? Ryan Jensen, no question. Center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is a gritty, mean motherfucker, and he finishes almost every block. He goes out and looks for work, tries to put people on the ground, hit people, mean, talk shit, get in their head, and doing
If
that.
you're protecting Tom Brady, you might be doing something right.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Tom Brady ain't letting no scrub do that. He don't want no scrubs. Don't go chasing waterfalls. No, sir.
It's gotta be TLC.
What are you talking about? And, uh, so that's who I really would love to see at the center. You know, I like Trey, but Trey Hopkins is Bengal center, but
Sure.
you got to get better. You got to improve, and you got to go get those guys. You're in the win now window. The Bengals have a chance right now if they set up cap friendly long term contracts that the Bengals can be in this position for the next decade potentially.
Yep.
So now's the time to do it. Spend the money, get the right guys in there. So Ryan Jensen, right off the top of my head, is somebody that I would love to see in there on that Bengals offensive line. And there are rumors that they are the number one landing spot. Another guy that I would be okay seeing there is James Daniels, a guard. Get another interior offensive lineman. And here's the thing: we've invested a lot in guards and centers. Trey Hill, center that we just drafted, Dante Smith, and Jackson Carman, all guys that we've drafted. You go back a little bit further, Jonah Williams at left tackle. free agent. You look at Isaiah Prince, Fred Johnson. There's been a lot of investments in the offensive line. They're subpar. Even those investments, though, no one should feel comfortable with their job.
Oh no,
Jonah Williams included.
that entire offensive line is, in my opinion, I don't know if there's a solid spot that's confirmed on that offensive line. I think every single position, guard or tackle to tackle, is up for grabs. And Pop's coming in with a comment. I think it really, this is what's going to be the difference maker in free agency. Moving forward, and like it always has been. It's, do I want to give everything to block this guy?
Yeah.
Good O linemen want to protect awesome quarterbacks. And guess what? The Bengals have arguably the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, what offensive lineman wouldn't want to come in and protect that guy?
At least going
that swagger.
Forward, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Aaron Rodgers, technically the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, he won the MVP. Like, you can't. I'm not, as a Burrow fan, like, I'm not going to sit up here and say, like, Burrow is the best quarterback.
So I said arguably.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not gonna say that just because he didn't win MVP. But that being said, he's right up there. I don't think anyone's gonna really argue that. I would say
top 5.
100%. It's Rodgers, it's Mahomes, it's Allen, it's Burrow. Like these are the guys that are in the conversation at this point. And that's just, I don't think anybody can really dispute that. But what your dad is saying is that I think that goes outside of offensive line. People want to come and play with the Bengals right now because they know that they're in this win now window. They understand that what they have. They've got it. They've got the main thing figured out, right? They've got a top 5, top 10 at least defense. They have a top 5 quarterback. They have a top 5 wide receiver, a top 5 running back. I mean, statistically speaking, Joe Mixon is a top 5 running back this year. Jamar Chase, there's no question. Could have potentially been all pro if it weren't, if Cooper Kupp didn't exist. But but
what a season he had, man.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Absolutely. No hate towards Cooper Kupp or any of the Rams actually at all. But I
may or may not have called that mid-season, by the way.
The Rams winning the Super. I mean,
no, Cooper Kupp.
Oh,
you guys gave me a lot of shit.
Well, here's the thing about Cooper Kupp is this is the first season that he stayed healthy, and it's fantastic for him to be able to, because when he's healthy, he's this, right? Every year it seems like he gets a concussion or 2, maybe, you know what I mean? Gets banged up in some capacity. So good on him to stay healthy, and it shows what happened.
He took advantage of it. Absolutely. That's for sure.
Absolutely. But what I was saying is, these free agents are seeing all of this, and what they're recognizing is, I want to go play for the Bengals.
Yeah,
I want to go
absolutely.
play for a coach that is a player-centric coach that's building a positive culture. All these guys want to play for each other. They love each other. They're hanging out. Jamar Chase went to a neighbor of Joe Burrow and said, "Hey, I want to buy your house." And now they live on the same fucking street. That actually happened. Yeah, it's crazy. So the rumor is that a very prominent young tight end, that's all that was, their agent, unprompted, said that he very much wants his player or his tight end to sign with the Bengals so that he can play with Joe Burrow. That is out there. Who it is? There's a lot of young tight ends that are available right now. Gesicki's out there. OJ Howard's out there. Dalton Schultz is out there. There's another guy.
Man, I'll tell you what, I really like Mike Gesicki. I think he would be an unbelievable signing if the Bengals can land him. Even Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz had a nice season too. When he got the ball, he was really consistent.
He did. There's some rumors that the Cowboys are looking to franchise tag Dalton Schultz, which I think would be fine. It's a cheap franchise tag to throw around on a tight end. So you could throw that back at the Bengals. Might do that with C.J. Uzama. C.J. Uzama, another free agent this year, who's, I think, 28 years old. The guy that I have my eye on, though, is none other than Mr. Zach Ertz. I think that would be a game changer. We talked about this I did in my solo show. I talked about this is the main thing that the Bengals red zone offense is missing, other than offensive line, is a dominant tight end in the red zone. They don't have it. CJ's great, but he's more of a spacing tight end. He's a route running. I'm going to sit soft in this zone, in this gap, and exploit the defense that
He's
way.
not going to manhandle a DB.
No, not even a linebacker. He's not going to do it.
Yeah. Zach Ertz is big. He's strong. He's fast. He's got great hands.
Great hands. I mean, you saw the impact that they made in Arizona. I would argue that the Bengals offense is more potent than Arizona,
Oh, absolutely.
that's saying something. I mean, let's not shrug off the first half of the season and what the Cardinals were able to do. I think it was more coaching at the second half and the ability to make adjustments throughout the season. That's something the Cardinals have consistently not been good at.
Yeah.
So, but Zach Ertz lit an additional fire into that offense at the trade deadline, and I would love to see Zach Ertz in a Bengals uniform. I think it would just that offense would just it's an additional thing. Who the fuck do you cover? Who do you cover? Okay, you're gonna take on Jamar and T. Okay, Zach and Tyler, time to eat. Okay,
Right.
you're gonna crowd the middle so that Zach Ertz can't get after it and Tyler Boyd can't get it. Bye, Jamar. Fuck it, Jamar down there somewhere. I mean, that offense would be even scarier, which is the thing. So, that's one major thing that we are hearing. So, Charlie, I appreciate that comment, man. Another guy that I'm hearing a lot, just headed down south on 71, take the interchange. Down on 70, take the interchange into 71 and head on down to Cincinnati from the mistake on the lake. Mr. Austin Corbett out of the CLE is another guy that seventh on this interior lineman list for Pro Football Focus. Guy that is being targeted, projected contract 4 years, 925 a year. Bengals can do that. The Bengals can spend that money, no doubt.
That's very doable.
And the contract for Jensen that is projected, I think it's somewhere. Yeah, okay, 3 years, 10 million. I was gonna say 11. So that again, very very doable. The Bengals typically like to spend around 15 to 20 million dollars in free agency. That's typically what they do. In free agency. Now they have about 50 to 60 million dollars in cap space. 60, closer to 60 if you cut Trey Waynes, which please fucking God cut Trey Waynes. and if you do that, you cut Trey Waynes, you cut Trey Hendrickson, not Trey Hendrickson, I'm sorry, Trey Hopkins. I'll give myself a heart attack. If you cut these guys, you're close to about 60 million. You can go out and make a big contract for Jesse Bates, which
Yeah. That was gonna be my next question. I mean, is Jesse coming back?
God, I hope so. I mean, Jesse Bates, what he did in that playoff stretch was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm pretty confident that he was involved in an interception in every single playoff game. No, I'm sorry. Jermaine Pratt had the one against the Raiders. To lead the game off in the divisional round, Jesse Bates, first play of the game, intercepts Ryan Tannehill. Amazing. AFC Championship game, Jesse Bates knocks the ball out of Tyreek Hill's hands right into Von Bell's hands for the interception in overtime. And then right before halftime, the Rams are going to go up 10 on the Bengals. Nope. Jesse Bates got in there and intercepted Matt Stafford right before halftime. I mean, 3 interceptions that you're involved in the playoffs, just absolute dog. And you watch some of these highlights, his ability to go from the far hash to the other sideline while the ball is in the air, get there and make a play is almost second to none. I think Jesse Bates is a leader, and I think he's probably a top 3, top 5 safety in the league right now. And if the Bengals can lock him in for another 4 years, you've got an anchor. You've got an anchor at the top of the deep. Who's throwing over the Bengals? Other than if it's a corner that gets burned.
Right.
It doesn't happen. Like, they don't give up a lot of deep plays. And it's because you have guys like Von Bell and Jesse Bates anchoring the back half of that defense. So, I mean, Duke Tobin spoke about it. Lou Anarumo spoke about it. Duke is very confident. He's like, yeah, we want Jesse back. Like, we want him back. That's a priority of ours to get that deal done. Lou Anarumo, he's like, I am able to do what I do because of Jesse Bates, is what he said. I'm able to be so dynamic because I have a guy like Jesse Bates anchoring the top half of my defense. So
you just know he's going to be there. He's reliable. He's consistent.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have that in a safety, I mean, no one really talks a lot about safeties. It's all about corners. Corners are a lot more flash, right? They're a lot louder because they're right here on the wide receiver pretty consistently. Those are the guys on defense that you really hear about, other than like pass rushers. You see those guys a lot, getting up and celebrating. But no one, you don't really talk a whole lot about safeties, but they're huge, especially in today's NFL where everybody's throwing the ball, 40, 50 times a game. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. No, I mean, the safety is probably the most underrated position on defense, at least in the secondary. And it just makes me think about Troy Polamalu and those
yeah,
glory days that I got to live in. That dude.
dude. I mean, and one of the craziest things about Troy is that not only was he a great pass defender, but he would come up and just smack you on the run too. He had no qualms with getting in
Oh,
there. No problem.
yeah, he could lay the wood. That's for sure. Um, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to get over to the Steelers real quick, just for a
Yeah,
quick tidbit.
absolutely.
Um, Juju Smith-Schuster is a free agent. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think the Steelers bring him back?
Juju. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna go to a pause. I just lost the cam here. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to a pause and we will bring right back and we'll get into Juju Smith Schuster. Stay with us.